Hi, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about how to prove manifesting is real and how to prove which techniques are best for you. This is a question I'm asked almost most often, and it's because of the way that I teach manifesting. When I was learning manifesting, it was first through the saturation of my mind of books, teachers, and also my experience. But most importantly, later, the testing of each technique, countless times, hundreds and hundreds of times per each technique. This was what really brought me to the point of continuous and systematic manifestation of results on a regular basis. The worst feeling anyone can have with manifesting is the idea that we must hope that it's going to happen. I hate hoping. This was something that most of us know a lot about, especially jumping into manifesting from a perspective of the just regular human experience. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds absurd. Then what happens is we enter into a perspective of experience. And what I mean by that is we try something and something works. And after that, normally a regular fallacy comes into the mind, which is to say that because this thing worked by this person, then this thing must be the truth. Now, the idea behind my channel itself was after being misled for nearly a decade by well-meaning but non-accurate manifestation teachers, I began to perform experiments that expanded my ability, that invoked amazing experiences. And my process, I write a lot, and my process is meticulously analyzing. I am a mathematics, physics, and computer science major in university, in college. And so the way my mind works is by finding patterns. So one of my favorite subjects is math. And so utilizing discrete math and then aspects of computer science, what I've done over the years is taken all of the success stories, not only of myself and my tested experiments, but also those from the tens of thousands of users who have submitted, my subscribers, who have submitted their success stories to me. Not only from my own stuff, but from other people's stuff. And in doing so, there are common denominators that are always true. You can prove manifesting is real, and not only that, but in a way which is laser focused and predictable. So on my channel, what I teach is how to manifest in a predictable way so that you do not need me any longer. I believe, and through my personal experience, if you go through the process of systematically testing, which I'll take you through the process of simply and quickly here, within the shortest span, you will obtain mastery over manifesting and over your reality. There is nothing off limits to anyone. All things are possible within the frame of manifesting. There are ways and means to create your reality. And some of the most common denominator traits that I have ascertained through the process of observing success stories or failures are as such. For example, if you impress your subconscious mind, that thing will manifest. This is an objective truth. I've seen it myself. I've experienced it myself. And despite any type of terror or fear or doubt or insecurity, if you are capable of momentarily inserting an image into your mind and holding it there as if it were true and experiencing it with all the rationality of reality, that experience will be rendered in this world. There is no doubt about it. There's nothing you can do to prevent it. This is a fact. And that is something you can test easily. The key here is to really figure out how to impress your subconscious mind. Now, this is a term that can sound very ambiguous, but after having tested this for so many years, and not only that, through the experiences of my subscribers or non-subscribers, the key really is to allow yourself to be in an impressionable state or a relaxed state where you're able to focus or fixate on the mind with an image in the mind with a clear-cut desire. In other words, an imaginal act. An imaginal act does not just mean visualization. This is something you can prove that you don't need to add solely feeling. You don't need to add anything at all except for that which you want to imagine. So in other words, if you want to use just words, you can do that. If you want to use just feeling, you can do that. If you want to use just visuals, you can do that. If you want to just write, you can do that. Any which way, any imaginal sense, any imaginal feeling, any imaginal experience itself will be manifested. So with that said, I want to explain to you then what happens after you impress the subconscious. Now, this is something, again, once you begin to manifest for weeks or months and you begin to reflect upon the experience, you will come out with not only once, but every single time that there was a process that underwent in this reality, or in other words, this reality underwent a process change. And what happens is whatever you desire, when you imagine that thing from the point of view of having it already, and that's critical, it's only that perspective that you've imagined will be manifested. So in other words, the contents that exist within your mind or your imagination, nothing else aside from that, will be pushed out. Nothing beyond, anything prior leading up to, but nothing beyond that point. And when you impress that thing, and the way we know this is what happens is a natural bridge of incidents unfolds. Meaning, whatever thoughts, ideas, feelings, moods, actions, impulses that must be had, or in other words, if there are 10 people required in this world to give you that thing you've imagined, then those people will be compelled, they will be moved, they will be shifted. There's nothing you can do to prevent it. Their mind will be commandeered. They will be saturated with thoughts, feelings, ideas, and moods, experiences, which direct their thinking towards taking actions that stack up together to get you your end. In other words, it is experiences themselves that stack together to cause your manifestation to happen, which leads to another point. Time itself is a function merely of experience. In other words, that time span from the moment you imagine to the moment of experience, which is guaranteed, is variable. There's no way to detect it. It has nothing to do with your beliefs. It has nothing to do with your feelings or moods. The only thing that I can tell you is that these experiences will move you and them and whoever in a natural way, a methodical way, a precise way to cause them to give you your manifestation. So if you want a specific person, you want to marry a specific person, what it's going to look like every time, and I've never seen this fail, is you imagine the end and you do so in a manner where you're already married to them. And then what will happen is a natural bridge. What would naturally happen? What would a natural experience look like for your specific person right now to turn into a person who wants to marry you? Think now of their current state. Picture that. Think of what their mind consists of now. What's the state of your relationship? Do they like you? Are they mad at you? Do they know you exist? Have you just broken up? Are you on the verge of getting together anyway? The point is the entire current sphere of reality, including that person's mind and your mind and all events in reality, is taken into consideration. God, your true self, and also the true self of your specific person, knows the contents of your mind, of your heart, of your true self. Given that, knowing you intimately better than you know yourself, it knows exactly what needs to be done to get you your manifestations. Exactly. And so with that said, the process is undergone. They will be moved. They will take actions. They will have thoughts. You will be moved. You will have action, take actions. You will have thoughts. These things will stack up. You will talk to them. They will pull back. They will talk to you. You will pull back. You will have an argument. All in all, what needs to happen in order for you to be with them will happen. If they need to change, if their beliefs need to change, if their behaviors need to change, if they need to start acting some way, stop acting some way, and likewise with yourself. It's not just them who changes, it's you. This whole world is you pushed out, and that includes them. And so in other words, it's not just yourself, it's them and anything within the sphere of consciousness, which is another word for saying the conscious universe. The conscious universe itself will have maneuvers performed within them, changes, thoughts, ideas, etc. And all of them stack together The reason that this is the case and not some instantaneous experience of shifting in a dimension is because of the nature of reality. The dimensions exist in a place outside of time-space, not within the sphere of our reality. In other words, everyone shares this reality, but it's within our imagination where we are allowed to select a potential reality. And therefore, the fact that your self is God, their self is God, the whole vast world is God, God then needs to shift and conform in a perfect manner, which is no problem, in order for your manifestation to unfold in a way which everyone can experience it. And that is the method to manifest. Now, I'm going to give you a simple test, a simple technique that you can perform, a method that you can engage in order to experience the same thing I have, which is a way to prove manifesting. By the end, I have 100% success record with manifesting after I learn these principles. And so do the subscribers and the people who have been utilizing and putting this to the test for the number of years that they have been engaged in it. This is the experiment. This is the test. What you're going to do is you've heard of this. I call this the list method, but really there have been many people afterward who have created their own list methods that have nothing to do with this. So this is the list method experiment, you could call it. And in other words, what you do is every single day, you write down 10 things. 10 things from the perspective of already having them. Now, in other words, not beforehand, not right before, etc., not it will happen. You write down, I received a free cup of coffee. Somebody called me good looking. An old friend messaged me. I learned something amazing today. Something that thereby implies that you have already experienced it. Now, notice I said something. I experienced something amazing today, or I learned something amazing today, whatever I said. What you will find is every single day, you write down these things. And what you will, for 7 days, I suggest 14 minimum because of the reasoning behind this whole experiment. What happens is so you write 10 things. Next day, you write 10 things. Next day, you write 10 things. And then what happens is, after the week or 2 weeks, whatever your span of experiments are, which in this case, I do it indefinitely up until this point, but you will experience within a week, after a week, you can reflect back on the first day and you will see that some of those things have manifested. The next day, check back on page 2, day 2, boom, some of them may have manifested. In other words, over the span of time, you will see manifestations all will occur. As long as you have written them clearly, thought of them clearly, meaning you heard yourself think whilst you're writing them down, you will experience them all. What's amazing too that you will find is when you are writing these things down, it is after you forget them, usually. After you let them go is when they manifest. And this is the way that you will begin to gather your experience. After that, you will find also that the writing of a word, something like today, does not manifest the day you write it. In other words, manifesting is entering into, or imagining is entering into a reality temporarily, selecting that dimension whilst you're writing it down or thinking it or imagining it, and then jumping back into this current present moment. And the reason that's important is because the time, meaning today, will happen on the day it manifests, meaning you enter into a reality, into the future, so to speak, to experience I received an amazing piece of information today. That's not happening this day. It happens the day it manifested. Then you jolt back here, and then you will find that time in and of itself is not a factor that we control. It's only just a way to explain the amount of events that have to happen in order for the manifestation in order for it to be fulfilled. In other words, every single day, write down 10 things. After 7 days or whatever your experimental window would be, 14 days, reflect back on day 1. Look at the items. Some will happen. Look at day 2 on the next day, then 3, then 4, and keep going day by day by day, skipping 7 days. I suggest 14 in the past, but depending upon, you will get experiences and results after 7 days, there's no doubt, but you will find an amazing common denominator series of truths that will always be applicable. Manifestations will always happen if you impress them. You do not need to use feeling. You do not need to visualize. All you need to do is have clarity of thought within the mind. They will happen out of order. They must be after the end. If they're before, you will not get that manifestation. They must be accurate and unambiguous, meaning if you use words that can be confused for other things, those other things can be manifested. There's nothing too big or too small. People can be changed. You can be changed. The weather can be changed. And all in all, the most important aspect of this whole thing is your reality begins to change, and manifestations, think of what will happen after 90 days of doing this. That is 900 manifestations at least. If you do this, some people do 10, 15, 20 things a day, right? I do as many as I feel like. I don't just stick to 10. But the most amazing thing is what happens when your reality shifts to something where it's just raining down manifestations. What you want to do is dissect. You want to think, what happened? What didn't happen? Why did it happen? How did I focus on this? How didn't I focus on this? How much did I obsess over this thing that didn't happen versus how much did I not obsess over this thing that did happen? And you will find the things that I have said in my channel are absolutely unequivocally true. And through your own experiences, you now have the key to unlock mastery of manifesting. There is no more need to be on my channel. You will then have everything you need. You will never be able to, you will never have to look at a channel and wonder if what they're saying is true. You will know, you've experienced it time and time again. You will find all things are possible. You will find that any technique doesn't matter. The point is to simply impress the subconscious mind from the perspective of already having it. You will find that manifesting the middle will not net you your end, meaning piecemeal manifesting will never get you your results. There are so many things that will be unlocked so easily that my word and your word and this channel and that channel, there's nothing anyone can say. Just look at the results. And what's amazing is after you have this span of results and analysis, you can look at all the people manifesting who think this method is right or this concept is true, and they will give you their example, and you will be able to say, I see why you've confused it, but really what the truth is this. And this is something that I stand for. This is why I made a channel, was to teach people how to back away after they've already been gripped and grabbed in and misled, right? I myself, for many years, have had many amazing experiences, but also lacked the clarity and the direction, the systemized nature of manifesting. This is a law. We are in and utilizing a law. There's no reason for trials. There's no reason for missed manifestations. Get the process down and you will have no doubt. When I imagine something, I bring it forth into my mind with whatever technique. If I'm imagining it with visualization or imagining it with inner conversation or scripting, whatever. Once I do that, I never think about it again. I never worry about it again. I know it's coming. It happens time and time again. I've been doing this for 12, 13 years in a way. Imagine every single day. Every day manifesting things, right? 10, 20 things, at least through the list method. Then you're manifesting other things that you really care about. And what you find is you have done, after a year, you have, my God, 1,000 manifestations. Imagine doing that for 12, 13 years and imagine all the data you've accumulated. And so that is the basis of what this video is about. It's about collecting your own information, stop being sucked in by someone who says, this is the truth, this is the truth. The truth is, your experience is the truth. Put it to the test and put it to the test over and over and over again. That is what I have done. That is what I suggest. That is what I teach. All of my teachings are derived from not only my own personal experiences, but also from those of people who are or are not my subscribers. People who have success stories that have been written and described on comments, on books from other lecturers and teachers. Everything that I teach is a meticulous analysis of all the common denominators, all the things that do not work, all the things that work, and that is what I present to you on a silver platter. So what you find here is unique. You will not find it anywhere else, and I hope this was helpful for you. Remember, if you want to systematically manifest, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That is the way to do it in a laser-focused way. I release videos every Tuesday, every Friday at around 10 p.m. London time, so make sure you're there. Make sure you chat with me. It's premieres. And then all the other days of the week, the weekdays, I release shorts and other content. I have an email list as well, but the point is Systematically manifest. Test everything, and you will bring mastery to yourself in the shortest span of time. Stop wasting your time by saturating your mind with this teaching and this teacher, and just bring it to your own experience. There's no way to disprove it. I promise you that. I've done this so many times and taught so many people from the beginner to the manifestation of their ultimate dreams, releasing New York Times bestseller books, becoming Hollywood actors, getting their specific person, marrying their specific person, becoming healthy again, accumulating wealth, getting out of addiction, getting out of trouble, getting out of any situation and state that you're in and entering into a new one. So thank you so much for watching this, and stay tuned for the next one.